Hello guys and welcome to my first tutorial. Yeah, it's finally happening. So today we're gonna recreate this animation I made for my last reel. You think Davinci Resolve is hard to learn? If your answer is yes, it was completely made inside Fusion. So here is the workflow we're gonna follow to recreate this. And actually it's how I edit. First we're gonna set up our 3D scene inside Fusion with the elements, camera, lights, and then we're gonna do our 3D camera animations. And finally, I'm gonna show you how to make your composition more elegant and appealing with some color grading, effects, texture. So let's start. So here we are inside Davinci. I've prepared some resources we're gonna need for this tutorial. And for my settings, here is my resolution. And 30 fps is good for Instagram reels. So let's bring a Fusion composition. Cut it to the length of your voice and let's start. So my animation, it was a 3D animation, so we have to set up a 3D scene inside Fusion. To do this, we need to follow a certain node structure, and it's this one. And an image plane. And now if we bring our merge on the first view, we're gonna see our 3D scene. And the reason why we don't see anything on the second view is just because our camera is seen through the image plane. Just push it back like this and it's gonna be fixed. So for this reel I've got this idea to make a classroom for this animation. So for this I've got some textures. So we're gonna start with the wall. So for this I've got this wall texture from Texture Lab. It's a good website for texture. I really recommend it. Gonna name it wall. I really recommend you to name your nodes from the beginning so you're not going to be lost after with all the nodes. And now just to make our wall just a more bigger like this, and duplicate the image plane to make our second wall on the right side just like this. And now to make the window on our wall, just need to duplicate the wall node and put a rectangle mask on it just like this. And now we just have to invert our rectangle and make it more smaller just like this, more to the right just like this. I think it's looking good. And now duplicate our rectangle and put the paint mode into subtract and de-invert the rectangle. So now I'm gonna bring my checkboard. It's also an image I found on Google, and now plug it into an image plane and make sure to put your timeline resolution to quarter and uncheck the motion blur and the high quality, so you're gonna have a smoother render. And finally for the chair, we're gonna use a 3D model. I've got this from Sketchfab. I really recommend this website for 3D models. It's actually a USD-Z model. I prefer USD-Z models because it has more realistic textures than FBX models. And actually USD-Z models doesn't work with the basic 3D nodes. It has specific nodes that all start with the letter U, like a U render. And the reason we're seeing this is just because 3D model is big. So to fix this, we just have to put a U transform node and scale it down just like this. And now to actually have our chair on our 3D space, we need to have an image plane and plug it into the 3D merge. And here I forgot to add the floor, so we're gonna put it first so we can put the chair on the floor. So now we're going to add the lights to our scene. For that, we have to add the spotlight and merge it into the merge 3D merge. And you see nothing's going here. It's totally normal. You just have to check the lightning and the shadows on the render node. And ta-da! And now I'm going to put the spotlight on the right side so it's giving that shadow window effect. And now just play with the settings here to have the soft light. And here I'm just going to add some density to the shadows so it contrasts a bit more our scene. And here I just added another spotlight to give more luminance to the scene, but you can just increase the intensity level on the spotlight. And here, as you can see, our floor is totally dark. Don't worry about that, just have to uncheck the lightning and shadows on the image plane of the floor. And here I wanted to make it a bit more darker, so just add a brightness node here and decrease again a bit. Here I just want to add some artificial shadows to the board. So to do that, just duplicate your image plane and adjust the image plane just like this. So it's giving that artificial shadow. And put down a bit the opacity to make it less dim. And now same thing with our clock. And here I also wanted to give a fake shadow to this chair, so I just added another image plane just like with the clock and the board, but I just added an X rotation to the image plane so it's giving that shadow in the floor. And here we're going to add the sky image. I forgot. It's just an anime sky I found on Google and just plug it to an image plane and you know how to do the rest. And as you see here, the right one is more brighter than the other one. To fix this, just add a brightness mode on it and decrease the gain a bit. For the animation, I wanted two angles of the camera, so I just cut the fusion composition into two parts. And we're just going to add a simple but smooth movement. And now I'm just going to resize this flow. Let's smooth our animation. Just make a graph like this. So it's going fast at the beginning and then more slower at the end. So the tip here is we're gonna add the second movement to our camera before the first one's going to end. So for this you're gonna need a transform node, transform 3D node, and then we're gonna start our movement from this to till this. And here I'm gonna add something like this, and I'm gonna do like a curve like this. So now if you see, now it's having a bit like this. So you see there is no static frames on our video. It's moving smooth with continuous movement. You see? And we can also make this more longer, make this animation more longer, just like this. You see? For my original animation, I made something more complicated. I added a Y rotation. We're gonna do this, so just follow with me. But if you notice something here, when I rotate the Y rotation, it's not rotating from the camera, it's actually rotating from there, the origin. So to fix this, it's pretty simple. We just have to link the pivot of this transform 3D to the translation of our camera just right here. And to do this, we use something called expression. Just right click expression and link it to the x-axis of the camera. Same thing with the all other ones. And now, as you can see, if I'm rotating the y-axis, it's rotating from the camera. So I'm gonna add our second movement. I'm gonna start from this frame till this frame. I'll make like this one. I think this looking good. And of course we're gonna smooth our animation just to make a curve like this one, and boom. So here I just want to add a rotation for my chair. So we're not going to add it from here because this is actually a plane, so it's not 3D, if you can see. So we're gonna add our rotation from this transform. So if you see, it's rotating from rotating. I'm gonna add a keyframe here, and then another here with some movement like this, and then we have our chairs rotating. So now I'm gonna make the second angle, just make this one like this, and like this. Go here and reset all this. I want to make an angle like this on the right. I'm gonna decrease the focus like this. And another tip here is not letting your end keyframe inside the timeline. So like this, you're going to have some static movement like this at the end that is not really good for the editing. So just make your animation more longer. Make your end keyframe out of the timeline. So like this, you're going to have continuous movement even at the end. And when I have a heavy composition like this one, I like to render it in place with low quality to see if all the movements are alright. Because even with the best optimizations, the playback speed will be too slow here. So since everything looks good, we're going to render this at full quality. So here at the most important part, this is literally going to bring your image to life. We're going to add an adjustment clip to color grade our footage. We cut it into and color grade the first scene and then copy paste it to the second and make some adjustment if it needed. Don't be intimidated by all these wheels, it's pretty simple. We're going to first add 5 nodes like this. The first one is going to be for our primary corrections for contrast, exposure, white balance, and the second one is going to be for the looks, and finally this 3 left is going to be for our effects. So here for the primary corrections, I just wanted to give a more contrasted look, so I'm just going to make it a bit more contrasted from this curve. Just make an S curve like this, and it's looking good for me. And I'm just going to add some lights to this scene because it's a bit dark, just like this with the gamma wheel. Yeah, I think it looks good like this. So for this scene, I wanted to give that warm, cool environment. So we're going to push our tones to a bit to the yellow. And we're going to do this from the HDR wheels. We're just going to push the lights a bit to the yellow, just like this. And as you can see here, it's more warmer if we disable this node without the loop and with the loop. You see the difference? And here I'm just going to push my shadows to the blue tones a bit, just like this, and it's, as you can see here, it changes the whole image. And now we're going to add our effects. The first one is the glow. Here I'm just going to show you a tip that I'm using. Just put the threshold all the way down and the spread all the way up. And the security here is to put the composite type into soft light, so it's giving that soft glow just like this. You see, it's smooth dreamy glow. I really love this one. If you can see it like this, without the glow and with the glow, it makes a big difference. I'm just going to name it glow. And here I'm just going to show you another tip I'm using is adding an atmosphere on the glow. So it's giving that atmosphere here. It looks really good. I love this one too. And here I'm just tweaking with the settings just to make what feels good to you. Now we're going to add my favorite effect. It's the film grain. I'm going to show you a tip here also. Just put the texture all the way down and the opacity all the way up and choose this preset and just increase the grain as you want. It's giving that filmic cinematic look. I love it a lot. And I'm just going to delete this one. We're not going to use it. And now, as you can see, with just simple tweaking we can have a really good compositing. As you can see, it makes a big difference. Here I'm just going to add more contrast, just like this. And for the second scene, we're just going to copy this color grading and paste it on this adjustment clip, just like this. And here, just tweaking the contrast a bit, just like this. And it's already looking good, I think. Yeah. And now let's add our textures. Just add an adjustment clip above all those one, just like this. And let's go inside Fusion. So first thing I'm going to add here, it's actually posterior time effect. It's giving that cinematic movement. I'm putting it at 14 usually. So as you can see, it's giving that really good movement. I love this one. I'm using it very often. And for the textures, I actually added a particle overlay and a scratch wall texture. And here, just copy my settings. It's pretty simple here. And as we can see here, without all the effects and color grading, and with all of this, it makes a big difference, I think. And here I'm just going to add a bit saturation from this one, because I think it's not really saturated. Same thing with the second scene, just from here, no, this one. And ta-da! And here we are with the final result. Do you think Davinci Resolve is hard to learn? If your answer is yes, you guys, I just finished editing the tutorial. Hope you like it. I know it's not perfect. It's the first time I'm doing this. So let me know what should I improve, and see you soon.